Welcome in, all fans, as we get you ready for the Bridgewater Regional here just a couple of days before you see the Concordia Tornadoes come back into action. And today, I am pleased to be joined by three members of the team that will be taking their talents to the Northeast. If this is the first time that somebody's speaking with this team or getting to know you guys, go ahead and just introduce yourselves real quick so that everyone knows what they're going to be looking forward to watching this upcoming weekend.
My name's Mathew Armes. Play third base at Concordia. I've been at Concordia for 3 years now. Came in as a transfer from Temple.
I'm Brady Staedtler. I'm a pitcher. I've been here for all 5 years. Came in as a true freshman.
I'm Otto Franz. I'm also a pitcher. I've been here for 5 years out of Austin, Texas.
So, there's a reason why I wanted to make sure it was three guys here that got the chance to talk about this experience because all three of y'all have been here for now back-to-back trips to the NCAA postseason tournament, which is a huge turnaround from where the program was at one point. And Brady, I'm going to start with you. You and Otto are the two guys that have been here from the start. When you talk about the arch that this program has taken since you guys have been here, just for those that don't know, explain it a little bit and how proud you are that, in your last go round, this is where the program is going to be left.
Yeah, I mean, when Otto and I first got here in that COVID year of 2020, we had a really good team at Concordia that was set up with a lot of old talent. And they made a decent run. And then it was like once that class left, it was very shaky, from going from our sophomore year where, just, getting by through the conference and the ASC and then going into our junior year and going through, the passing of Boggs and, just a huge like turnaround there as we, just trying to fight a lot of adversity on and off the field and getting on the field and not producing at a high level or not at the level that Concordia is used to. It was really tough. And then to come in last year and start 0-6 in conference and then just go on a tear the rest of the year and just kind of leave it all out there and end up with that conference title. I think the biggest thing is this team finally got back to a level of success and, found out what winning feels like again at a high level. And it really just carried over even with these new guys coming in this year, being able to, catch that vibe with us as well and just kind of, come with us on this journey that we've been on all year.
And as we said, that journey is going to be taking the next step in Bridgewater this upcoming weekend. Matt, I'm going to go to you next. You're kind of in that middle point where Brady's talking about there's a 2020 group that's well established, and then you come in kind of at the halfway point of, you don't want to call it a rebuild, but it's a reload. So, talk about how it has been for Concordia as a whole to not only take the tradition and also infuse it with new talent, new ideas that's gotten y'all to this point.
I mean, it's been a great experience ever since I've been here. Yeah, starting up once I got in here, kind of got to talk to a bunch of the returners and stuff, just hearing the ins and outs. I mean, we've had a lot of conversations, me and you, EJ. But it was good. That first year coming in, I mean, we had a lot of success. We had a lot of talent, a lot of everything. Honestly, I think we finished second that year in the ASC conference, and then didn't have the best success in the conference tourney, and that was it for that year. We didn't get a bid, and then fast forwarding to the next year, like Brady said, starting 0-6, it was like a reality shock. We're like, what's going on? Kind of freak out mode a little bit, but we finally got everything reined in and we started playing well, playing how we knew we were supposed to play. And I mean, we went on a tear. And so coming into this year, I think we're just more hungry. I think we have a lot more seniority and experience. I mean, I think everything's going in the right direction right now.
It's going in the right direction coming off of, a SCAC tournament appearance where, and Otto, we're going to go to you next. This team hadn't faced, a lot of pushback all season long. Really, you only lost one conference series in the second half of the year. And then you guys come out and you played a really tough Trinity squad. You guys lost twice in the tournament. They're the ones that come out with the title. What's the feeling you get right now from the team having to quickly put that behind you and still keep that confidence, heading Northeast this week?
I think it's just realizing, the level of competition that we're playing at this point in the season. I mean, regardless of how you look at the conference tournament, we played two teams that both have 30 wins, and one of those ranked a top 10 team in the country. So, I mean, it's almost a blessing to be able to kind of stack your guys up against a team like that and to just kind of see where you are. And we feel good about, where we are. The games didn't come up our way, but I think we learned a lot as a team from that experience. And, it's not always a bad thing to come out on the wrong end of this, but, staying alive in the long run. So I think we're just looking forward to getting back on the field, taking what we learned from that experience in the tournament and putting that to work in this regional.
So you mentioned it's two teams with 30 wins. McMurray is headed to California to in the Laverne Regional. Trinity's going to go down to Marshall to ETBU. So it was no slight of a conference tournament that you guys played in. And Brady, I'm going to go, right back to you. When you look at what you're going to take away from this year, in particular, you can talk about everything else, but this year in particular, what stands out that you're going to really remember this 2025 campaign for?
This was the first team at Concordia that I've been a part of where we identified how talented of a group we were very early, and we didn't let that set in any type of way. Like you can go back to like we mentioned earlier, the 0-6 start last year. We knew we had a lot of talent, and we knew we could make a run if we pulled everything together. But we didn't pull it together. We just went out there with the mindset of, what, we're just going to roll through every team that steps on the field with us. And granted, that's a good mindset, but expectations like that without the work behind the scenes is, devastating for a program. And I think the biggest thing for me is this is the most competitive team off the field that I've been a part of. I mean, our practices have been very solid all year. When we're running through in the weight room, the energy and the life you get in there is just 10 times better than what we've had. And I would say, to be honest, the one thing I would take away from this team is how close everybody is. From day one, the freshmen came in and they weren't afraid to reach out to us because as seniors and guys that have been here know what it's like to be that new guy on the team. We made it a very open, clubhouse, and so I think as a group, the brotherhood is a lot stronger on this team than I feel like we've had in the past, and the leadership for sure has grown tremendously.
Balancing being welcoming and opening and also keeping that competitive edge. Matt, you're probably the best guy to ask about this. So maybe a piece of this team that a lot of people, who aren't watching, as attentively as I am in covering the games or being an immediate family member. You're a part of somewhat of a trio of a rotation between yourself, Eric Garcia, and Aaron Gomez. You've played with AG for 3 years. Eric comes in this year, a very talented transfer. And at various points throughout the year, you three have to balance probably only two or three of y'all being in the lineup at a time to get your best lineup on the field. And then you get to the conference tournament and you guys find a way to have all three of you guys on the field at the same time. What does it say to from the time you got here to now, being able to forge that relationship and make sure everyone knows that if somebody's not in there at a certain point, it's for a reason, and that at the end of the day, all three of y'all, can eat at the end of the day.
I mean, you said it perfect. I mean, Aaron and Eric are outstanding baseball players. I mean, you can see that just from this season. I mean, AG is a big leader on our team. We have a bunch of leaders, I would say, on the team. But kind of balancing that it's not the hardest thing to do, like a lot of people kind of think. But I feel like we do it outstanding. I mean, it's not we see it and then we're like, all right, whatever. It's like, okay, let's go. How can I help him while I'm sitting, or vice versa? And I remember having conversations coming back from the dugout when Gomez got hurt. He literally was in my ear nonstop because I haven't played second base. When I was playing second for a while, I was always at third. So it's not the hardest transition, but it's different. And he was in my ear nonstop, helping me, giving me tips, even looking at my swings at the plate. And it's just that relationship, like Brady said, on this team is we're all so close, it's like a brotherhood. And so we always want each other's back no matter what. And like we said, I'd rather see the team win than care about our individual stats. And I think everyone feels that way on this team.
Individual stats are, they're awesome to look at once your career is over. Otto, you're chasing something that I know has been on your mind, for a while, probably about halfway through your career. I mean, you and I have talked about it personally. The all-time strikeout record is going to be on your mind, regardless of how you spin it. This weekend comes up. How have you been able to balance, wanting that for yourself while still being able to put yourself in a good mental mindset to not change anything and still remain, the guy that's been a 5-year starter here.
Yeah, I mean, I think the key is to just really put all that stuff kind of out of your mind. I think looking into the season, you kind of obviously you know how far away you are from certain things, but you just do your best to kind of stay away from those thoughts and just, like Matt said, try and do everything you can for the team. At the end of the day, like numbers are cool and everything like that, but my favorite memory at Concordia is being able to put that ring on my finger and know that we accomplished something that we set out to do for a long time. And that's really all this team looks to do. And I think it's my obligation to the team to continue with that mindset.
You guys can touch on the same points if you would like, but we'll go just back in that, reverse order. Brady, Matt, and then we'll finish up with you, Otto. What do you guys have to do this weekend? You have a tough Endicott team that you're going to be facing at probably at some point. Oswego State, who you guys start off with, and of course the host, Bridgewater State. It's a little unfamiliar territory. What do you guys have to do, to try to return back here to Texas with a chance to play for a super regional?
Never let the moment be too big because it's not for this team. We're right where we want to be, and like we keep saying, pressure is a privilege, and there's nowhere else that we'd rather be, and that's right where we're going to be up there in Massachusetts on Friday.
I think our team's hungry. I think losing that first game of the championship to Trinity, it hurt. I mean, you could see it all in our eyes. It wasn't just I think it was just like it just hit us different. And even this week of practice, it's just a different mindset. Like, let's go take care of business. Let's take one game at a time. And I think that's going to be the big thing rolling this weekend is just taking one game, one inning at a time, win an inning, and then see how far that goes. Let's win a game. I mean, it takes 3 games to win up here to win it all. So let's start with the first one.
Looking at it as it's an opportunity. I think since I've been here in my 5 years, I think that everybody else who's been here would agree that this is probably the greatest opportunity that we've had since we've been at Concordia to really kind of put ourselves out there on a national scale. And the best part of it is I don't think it's overwhelming anybody. I think everybody's eager for that opportunity. And just I think we're going out there hoping to execute our game, not underestimating our opponents. Obviously, looking into their teams, they're very good. They've had great seasons. So it's going to be very high competition, but I think we're very much looking forward to that challenge and the opportunity to go put our name out there.
Well, fellas, we're looking forward to watching all of y'all. Everybody's going to be on the edge of their seats. I know everybody that's going to be here in Texas will be. So once again, we appreciate the time you guys have taken to get us ready for it. Hopefully we get to have another conversation once you guys head on back.
So we appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, EJ.
Go Neatos.